Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are back in the woods today making another video. And in today's video, I'm hoping to start off a new series where I do some cooking outdoors. Now the plan is I'm going to be doing various different styles of cooking outdoors, showing you different ways that you can cook, where you have a home warming type of meal that takes a bit of time to prepare, that could feed quite a few people, to something that's quite quick and easy to make for light packing or even camping for a long period of time. The plan is just to make various types of meals here that are practical or just comfortable, so you have a nice comfortable time when you're outdoors. Now you saw me walk in with a Dutch oven. This is the first time I'm using it for cooking outdoors. I'm very excited, and I probably will be doing a lot of cooking with this Dutch oven, as I have seen many recipes online or videos, people making various different things with it, and I think it'd be quite an exciting thing to do. But I also do cooking with things like portable stoves, mini ration packs, and various other things that are also lightweight, as not everyone is going to be wanting to carry a Dutch oven around. But in this video, we're going to be making something that I think is a really nice cozy meal that doesn't take much to make. It's actually easier than people think, and it is just a nice meal that will keep you warm, especially when it's cold. And we are going to be making some homemade rolls using the Dutch oven, and we're also going to be making some potato and leek soup. It's one of my favourite soups to make, and I just think it'll be a nice combination with being outdoors. And this is something that you could make in a smaller portion quite easily, just to keep yourself warm. But anyway, enough chatting, let's get on with the video. So we're going to start off with the bread first, as this takes time to make because you need to prepare it, have it rise and cook it. You don't want to start off with making soup first, because by the time you've made the soup, then you do the bread, the soup's gone cold, and it just doesn't work out in the right ratio of time. So we're going to make the bread first, so then we can leave it aside when it's done, so we can make the soup and have a nice warm soup to dip the crusty bread in. Now this bread is a very simple recipe, it's nothing complicated, but if you do happen to want either recipe for the bread or the potato and leek soup, then they will be in the description down below if you would like to give this a go yourself. Now I'm using the Dutch oven as a mixing bowl as well, as I didn't want to bring a bowl at the same time. I'm trying to reduce as much washing as I use when I come down here. Yes, I do have the flour in this, but I'm going to use this later on when it's clear to put the vegetables that's chopped up in here ready for preparation when I make the soup. But everything else is going to be done with this. Right, so let's start off with the dry bits of the bread. So we've got strong white bread flour. Seven grams of yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 300 ml of warm water. And that's all the ingredients you need for making the bread. Now we just need to give this a good old mix. The great thing with making dough is that you can fix it normally if you add little bits more here and there of different things, and you can get it back to what it wants to be. Starting to get the dough to a more workable form. So, smells so good. I tell you what, I absolutely love making bread. It's one of my favourite things to do, because no one can go out there and tell me that the smell of freshly cooked bread isn't nice. It's such a lovely smell. Now normally I wouldn't make bread outside. The person who definitely got me wanting to do it more was Outdoor Boys, because we've all seen his famous bread in a bag and how easy it is to to make bread outdoors. And he does it perfectly. Everything's in a bag, adds some water, leaves it to rise. Really, really good. This is definitely more than needed for one person. But what you won't see is I'll be sharing this with my family. Right, I'm going to leave the dough in the Dutch oven to rise. I'm going to leave it for around an hour and then I'll check on it afterwards. It might potentially be a bit too much dough for me making some rolls, so I might have to cut it in half and then put some aside, maybe make some at home later on for the rest of the week. While that is on the side and rising, I'm going to get myself a fire built ready so we can cook the rolls. So the dough is in the Dutch oven rising, fire is going, ready, and I am going to go do some other bits while I wait for this dough to rise. I also brought my hammock so I can relax in that while I plan some other videos. These are the things you've got to consider when doing this type of stuff. What you see is a quick video, but on the other side of this, obviously things do take time. So when you do these things yourself, consider the fact that you need to make sure you have things you can do alongside to keep yourself busy or entertained. Dough is rising in the Dutch oven, fire is going. I'm going to get some bits and bobs sorted and I will see you when the dough has risen. Right, so it has been an hour of this dough rising. I haven't looked at it yet, so let's have a look and see what is going on. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on. Bloody hell, that's risen a lot. Okay, it's looking really good. I do wonder if I might have maybe just a bit too much dough to make rolls in here. So what I might do is I might split this up, save some for later, and I'll do half of this portion for cooking. So I might have overdone the portions. So what I've done is I have split the dough in half, as there's too much of it and I won't be able to make the rolls that I want, and I've put some baking paper in the bottom. Now this is laid like 6 times just to prevent it from burning any more than it would do. That's the first one. So I should have enough to make 4, and all 4 is going to go in here. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these to rise for another half an hour, and then I will get the coals ready to put them on top. Right, the bread rolls have finished rising. Now what we need to do is we need to cook them. Now we can't cook them directly on the fire because it is too much heat and it will burn them. So what we need to do is we need to build a bed of coals here, put the Dutch oven on the top, and then we'll put some coals on the top so we can have an even amount of heat spreading through to cook them. I'm going to do is just move these big logs out the way. This is what we're looking for, and I'm going to put a nice bed of those. There. You don't need much on the bottom because that is going to burn the rolls. So put that there. Now what we want is more coals on the top because it cooks a lot better that way. Excuse the smoke, it's because I'm messing around with the fire. Right, so that is the rolls cooking for now, and I have got that over there. I've kept the fire going because I still need a fire for when I make the soup, so that is there ready. Like I said before, you don't want too much of the coals on the bottom because it will burn, and you don't want to burn the rolls. So what you want is you want to actually have more coals on the top and some on the bottom, so you get more of an even heat, and they need to cook for 25 minutes. I have brought my tripod with me that I'm going to use for making the soup anyway, so I will, if I need to, use the hook from the chain to lift up the lid so I can see what the bread rolls look like. But I'm leaving that there for now. That's going to stay there and cook for 25 minutes. Got the fire going, ready for the soup, and we'll see what it looks like in a moment. Right, so it's time to take the lid off now. I have checked this a few times and it has been looking really good, but let's show you what it looks like. I'm actually using the tripod that I'm going to use for the soup to help get the lid off. But let's get this under here and have a look. Oh, look at that. Bloody hell. That looks really nice. Right, so that's what it looks like. And I tell you what, that's come out really, really nicely. So that was half an hour of cooking, and it has risen quite well. And if you can hear it, there's a plane going over really annoyingly at the wrong time. Right, the plane's gone now, but if you listen to this, that is what I want. I want it to be crusty. And I think that looks amazing. We're going to try and get this out, let it cool on the side, and then we can start getting ready for the soup. So I've taken the rolls out of the Dutch oven. This has cooled down a bit more so I can actually put stuff in it. The rolls are on the side and they are cooling down, but it is getting darker and it's getting a bit colder, so this is the perfect time to make the soup. I've got all my ingredients here. Again, if you want the ingredients list, then I will include it in the video description down below. But let's get the soup going. Right, that is the soup on the fire. We are going to leave that on for about 25 minutes to half an hour. It doesn't take long for it to cook. The soup is a lot easier to cook than it is the bread rolls. But we'll leave this on for a bit and I'll constantly top up the woods and occasionally stirring it. Doesn't matter if you leave the lid on, it's not going to cause any issues, but I will occasionally stir this just to make sure that it is coming along nicely. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on. Oh, bloody hell, that does look good. Right, let's give it a mix. I know you can't smell it, but I'll tell you what, this does smell incredible. It smells really, really nice. Right, I reckon about 10 more minutes on this and that will be done. This has been on there for about, say, 20 minutes. I really do like a soft soup though. So we'll leave that on there for a bit more. I've left this gap here because it helps the air come out a bit, but we'll leave that for a bit and check on it when it's done. Right, soup is done. It's just simmering a bit now, but it's ready to be served. And I'll tell you what, that looks really, really nice. Say, I've got quite a large portion there. This is a 5 litre Dutch oven, but I'm sure my wife will be very happy to have some taken home for her, and I'll keep some for the rest of the week. But yeah, let's get serving. Now that's the soup and the bread done, and I'll tell you what, it was really worth doing. I've really enjoyed making this, but look at that. How good does that look? It looks really, really nice. Oh, it smells amazing. Yeah, so bread, again, like I said, this has cooled down quite a bit, but that is not an issue with this. All I wanted was a nice hot soup. Let's give this a try. That's really nice. It always feels really, really weird that I'm doing reviews on my own cooking, because obviously I'm not going to judge myself. I think this is really good. It tastes like potato and leek soup. I'm really impressed with this. I'll tell you what, if it was a lot colder, maybe November, December time, and I made this, I'd be a very, very happy man. Not saying that I'm not happy now, but especially with it being cold at that time of year, I'd be a lot happier with this type of meal. If you do happen to want yours not as chunky, then you can probably bring a masher, mash it up or something. But I like it this way. I think it's nice because you've got something for the bread to dip in, so you can soak up all that liquid, and then you can eat the vegetables afterwards. But I've outdone myself. I'm really impressed. And I tell you what, my wife is going to be very impressed to be able to have some of this. And I bet she can't wait. She's been sat at home waiting for this. So she'll be happy. I'll tell you what though, I will grab seconds after this. Just don't tell my wife. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll tell you what, I've really enjoyed making this video. And if there's anything that you would like me to make or cook while doing these videos, then drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to try and make something that you would like to see. I'm open up to loads and loads of ideas. I've got quite a few ideas of things I want to cook, but anything that you want me to do, just let me know and I'll give it a try. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.